So most of the economy is back. The types of events that are dangerous and that really no state and no country have figured out are mass events. How do you have 10 or 20,000 people together without it being a mass spreader event? And we look forward to being among the first states that can figure that out. But at this point, really, that's a global challenge that really nobody's figured out the answer to.
All right, that's your governor today. It is a Monday, and it's August 10th, and we welcome you to a Modern Eater Show as we continue. Got a good show for you. And myself, Greg Hollenbach, Jay Parker, Brian Freeman alongside of me. We've got a good week ahead, Summer Dinner Series, summerdinnerseries.com. Chef Brother Lux coming up tomorrow for dinner. That's a sold-out event at the downtown Pizza Republica at the very palatial, well-appointed, spread out alfresco dining, and looking forward to Brother Luck putting on the fifth dinner in our Summer Dinner Series. The governor just spoke right there, talking about Colorado's pretty much reopened for business and our economy is recovering. Really? Okay. Are all sectors? No, of course not. And one of them being events and gatherings, and even the bar business right now really just under huge scrutiny as we followed the lawsuit that the Tavern League put together against the state and got shut down immediately. So as we venture into new territory, we're with the mask mandate and the social distancing and the bars having a lot of eyeballs on them. Brian, did you know they're sending out people into undercover?
Yes.
Undercover, baby.
Yeah.
Expired IDs, trying to do, but order past 10 o'clock. The eyeballs are out there, and there were a few places that got shut down.
Well, and how do you get on
next
that
hour,
list,
3 p.m., we're going to talk to BCM Investments' Matt Joblon, dining out to help out Cherry Creek. And then Cerberus Brewing Company is going to join us as well. Carrie's going to join us. And right now, let's turn our attention to your mom's house, right? And that always gets a good one. And we'll welcome James Bedwell and Joe Dan to the show. What's up, fellas? Good to see you.
Mr. Hite. How
Hello.
you guys doing?
Good to
Be here. Thanks for having us.
All right, I'm not going to tell the story for you, but your mom's house is an event venue for, it's a musical event / bar, right? Do you have a liquor license?
Yes. Yeah, music venue / bar, local bar, 300-person capacity music venue that supports the up-and-coming local scene to the fullest here. And yeah, we've been operating it as a restaurant, pretty much pairing up with licensed food vendors and or food trucks, and been operating at 50 capacity.
Yeah, tough.
Live art space also, may I add. We do a lot of live art with local artists, with the community and things like that. We also do benefits into that kind of thing. Mostly cater to the local talent and art expression in the city.
Very much so needed, and really just an industry that is suffering mightily right now. And as you look around and you see a lot of places, just you saw Bandamere Speedway get a lot of slack. You see protests, and it must drive you guys crazy because here you are shut down. First of all, before we go on, we got to ask you about the name. Your mom's house. Now, Jay didn't want to ask anybody beforehand, right, Jay?
No, yeah, I didn't because I think I know.
I think I know too.
I think my guess.
I gotta get. Do you have a guess?
What's your guess?
Okay, let's all.
What's your guess?
First of all, can we do a friendly wager or something? Because I tell you all the time, Jay, I'm psychic. I'm clairvoyant.
No, what you? Okay, you tell me those things.
I think I know, down to the details.
And you're very intuitive. I'll give you that.
So
I want to go first because I said to you earlier that I want to go.
Okay,
I know
if you get it right, $50. If I get it right, $50.
$50?
Yeah, dial it in on the exact.
Everybody gets a shirt. Whoever gets it right gets a hat. Okay.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
My guess is
if you guys get it wrong, then you give us $50.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
Can I? I'm
Or
gonna have to borrow it. So here's my guess: is that it's a Joe, Dan, and James sitting around a coffee table. Say, what are we gonna name this place? And be like, it'd be far out. It's every time somebody's on the way down and somebody else asks along those lines, like, where are you going? I'm going to your mom's house.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Just to kind of, just as a funny little. That's what people say. I'm going to your mom's house.
That's pretty close.
Totally,
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's an acronym for something about music.
Ooh.
Because
I like that,
there's
because that's what
couple,
they're into with Boogie Groove Entertainment and
bingo.
and your mom's house.
We'll see who's right there, boys.
I think that they were getting loaded at a Nuggets game, and one looked. Joe Dan looked to James and said, "You know what? Your mom." And then the other dude said, "Your mom's house." And then you looked at each other and said, "Bingo! That's what we're gonna do. Your mom's house."
There you go. You're right. The coffee table was a Nuggets game.
So we're all right.
And, we were desperately trying to come up with something that was catchy and funny. So that popped up, and we both started laughing, and, that was it.
We brought it back to the other owners at the time who was just there for the first 6 months, and they were the ones at running Pearls, and we brought it to them, and they were just like, we hate it. And we're like, perfect.
We're in.
It actually took us a number of years to actually be able to openly call it your mom's house without kind of feeling a little embarrassed or like we might insult someone ourselves.
Yeah.
But now we own it pretty well.
I love it.
Right. But still, if you've never heard it, they're usually like, what'd you say? I'm like, no, it's a bar. It's a real place.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
I love this, you guys, and beyond this conversation, and you do need to tell the story of what you're doing. But I really admire a couple of young guys, the hustle. Your background, James, is actually in restaurants, and that's how you got your start doing the music type of thing, is working, getting an opportunity a couple of days of weeks to be able to bring in live entertainment to where did you work? Or where did
Tony P's.
Tony P's, that's right. And
so I didn't personally work there. I was just booking music there.
Man.
That was the opportunity.
I love that. And then it took off from there. I mean, really your love, and I'm sure your contacts and what you did. I'll tell you my story later, but this is about you guys, where you work up, and the dream of a promoter is to have your actual own venue instead of hustling someone else's or trying to put it together. Absolutely. So there it is. Tell the story. You get your mom's house. It used to be Pearls. And your own venue. How long have you had it for, you guys?
A little over 3.5 years now. Late November will be 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, coming up for 4 years. We put our heart, soul, and all of our money, then some, into this
sweat
thing.
And blood.
And really just building a place for people to express themselves. It's built for everybody else, and now unfortunately we can't run it.
Yeah.
We're the bad guys. It's those same people that are like, you should be closed.
What's the business model? You got a kitchen? Are you serving booze? What's the deal there? Food trucks? How's it work? And I apologize. I've been.
Yeah, we basically we actually do have like a little like air fryer and toaster oven and stuff that we could whip up some pizza rolls or chicken tenders or tater tots or whatever. But since COVID hit and we were able to reopen again about 2 months ago, we had to pair up with licensed food vendors or food trucks. And so they're kind of set up in the corner on the bar side, not on the venue side, just whipping up some food for our guests.
Gotcha. So do you have a food license?
No.
We have a tavern license.
Yeah, we have a tavern license.
Gotcha.
So it requires us to have cold sandwiches technically, or some type of munchie. But who knows what the law looks like these days?
Okay, so here it is.
No, we don't have a kitchen license. We don't have any kind of vented hood like your partner there is sitting under.
Yeah, we've got
Food
a kitchen here. It's interesting.
Food love there.
Yeah. So what's the setup at your mom's house? What are the hours of operation? Last Saturday night, you got what? What happened last Saturday evening? Not this Saturday, but last Saturday.
Pre-COVID, we were open 7 nights a week, from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m., doing live shows every single night. We pretty much had like 7 to 10 shows a week. We didn't take a break.
Wow.
Post-COVID, our hours shifted to pretty much like like Wednesday to Sunday. We didn't really open Mondays or Tuesdays really. Yeah. And it was pretty much like, opening anywhere from like 6 p.m. to, Polis said that the last call or bars could only stay open until midnight. So we stayed until midnight.
Yeah.
And then, about a month ago, last call it's supposed to be 10 p.m. So we started operating until 10 p.m.
Yeah. So technically we went from 7 days a week. And then we were initially closed completely for 2.5 months.
Almost 3.
And in that time, we actually got to remodel the whole place. We've
the
spent,
two of us.
Yeah, just me and this guy down here, and we remodeled the whole place ourselves, and then we were still ordered technically to stay closed. So that's when we partnered with the food vendor and trying to essentially jump through all the loopholes and hoops that we need to do to open, some capacity just to cover our overhead.
Just to survive.
And we have 20 people that, rely on us for jobs.
Did you get PPP money?
We did. We got approved by PPP, but that definitely helped us out a lot for sure.
Fantastic. Well, keeping it so you can stay in your location and pay your rent and maybe get to the other side.
Absolutely.
Now, it's so difficult business to be in right now just because of gatherings altogether being scrutinized so much. And the governor believes that if anybody drinks past 10 p.m., that you're going to lay in a ball of orgy on the floor, drunk.
Yeah, I bet the governor doesn't own a bar.
Right.
Or hasn't been in.
Like you said, there's no science behind, closing at 10 p.m. versus midnight. Like there's no backing up.
Well, let's face it.
We're the ones feeling it.
Literally, your business is who is being targeted right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about bars, like restaurants usually go until 10 or 11 p.m. and they close. Like bars, venues, their bread and butter is 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. So for us to not operate those 4 hours every night it's huge. Like it's really hurting us for sure.
Well, guys,
and now we're shut down, so now we can't even be open.
I would ask you, what do you think is your average patron's age?
Right there, yeah, 21 to
no,
25 to 35.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. We have a lot of different things. Sometimes we have younger DJs that brings a real young crowd, but a lot of the time we have open jam or some older bands that bring in a lot of older locals or parents. I mean, it's really all over the board.
It is all over the board.
Interesting.
And we represent all genres of music as well. So you'll see, funk to punk, electronic, hip hop, metal, like
wrestling
everything.
Matches, burlesque
wrestling matches, comedy. So we have all walks of life coming through there.
Wow. How cool is that? I love seeing you guys being in the position to be able to make your dreams come true. And having your own venue. Yeah, I know you guys. So what are the next steps for you? So they Denver Public Health, ordered you to stay closed, and I'm sure that they're looking for indefinitely. Okay, there's not a list of checklist items?
They actually wrote me a ticket, and actually I have that right here.
That's your ticket.
A couple guys right there. They wrote me a ticket, and they were basically like, here's a contact info, write up a proposal, how you're going to make your establishment, more safe, everything, the whole nights of why, how we're going to follow the CDC and city's COVID-19 guidelines. Even though we really have been, but there was some things that, we obviously didn't do, and they knocked us for it. And, so we have to send a proposal, which we did last week, and just, follow up with the city after that and see when they'll give us the green light.
Greg, it sounds like...
With that being said, I'm pretty sure we actually can open up before our court date.
Yes, we can.
We have chosen thus far not to, just to make sure that we don't turn around and let this happen again, because it's a little embarrassing, although the PR has been great.
Yeah. Now, Brian, you've been looking at a list of establishments that are marked for having COVID.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Outbreak data list.
Are they on the list?
Actually, you're not.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
You're not on the list.
Yeah, see, your mom's house is where you come to get well, not where you get COVID. They got it all mixed up.
Yeah. When I was a kid,
Despite, despite we think, we got targeted a little bit. I mean, maybe there's some people that, were posting on social media, and, with that being said, like maybe some people saw some pictures and they felt a little uncomfortable and reported us to the health department. And even though, it is a requirement to wear a mask at all times in our establishment, we treat it like restaurant rules, like basically the floor is lava while you're standing on walking on it. You got to keep that mask up. But as soon as you sit down at a table and you're, sitting with your friends, sitting down, you can then pull down the mask.
Well, and guys, what's interesting about this list that I look on is it's just people who have reported COVID cases. Now, the state is closing you not for reporting COVID, but because they felt like you weren't playing by their rules. I'd be interested to hear what were exactly, if you guys want to share.
I do.
What were exactly the violations that they came after you for versus, us speculating?
I could kind of read what they, the investigation notes right here. They basically said performance was in progress, patrons extremely close to stage/performer or DJ, which that's one of the rules, that it's kind of weird. With, we all have to be 6 feet apart from each other, you know what I mean? But with the DJ who's not saying a word or anything, we have to be 25 feet away from them.
Did they send?
Which is half the length of our.
That's half our venue. Our venue's 60 feet long.
Did they send a mole in?
Did they what?
Did they send a mole into the establishment that sat?
That's what they said on the report. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
They said that they'd send somebody in and took video footage of us breaking the rules and all that good stuff.
Here's what I would
understand.
I want to follow you guys' progress, of course, but here's what I would encourage you guys is to look at this as an opportunity to really look at what the new age of events and being able to utilize your venue for the purposes of what you want and try and lead by that example of saying, hey, look, we can be successful by doing these things and trying, and I'm sure you are, pivoting into a productive model. I feel terrible for you guys because I believe your types of businesses are being targeted right now. And not to say it's unrightfully so, because I'm sure that there are some folks that aren't doing things correctly during an outbreak, but my heart goes out to you because I know what that hustle is to put together and do entertainment of any sense. So if we could follow your progress, I'd appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right.
We appreciate your support, guys, man, definitely. Every little bit counts. We're out here just trying to do it. Little did we know, owning a venue was pretty cool last year, and it's not too cool this year.
Yeah.
So we didn't see that coming at all. So
every business matters, and you guys add a lot to our culture here in Colorado. So continue on. Thank you for everything you do.
Yeah, there could be an argument for saying, music and entertainment and all that's an essential too. People are getting pretty angst up right now in their homes, and there's nothing like going to a live show and dancing.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we'll be back in touch. That is James Bedwell and Joe Dan on the stream here today from your mom's house. Your mom's house. All right, cool, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, you betcha. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, here's what I want to do.
You guys.
Yeah, no sweat. Let's take a quick turnaround, hear from our sponsors here real quick. I can tell you that Matt Joblon, I hope I'm saying his name correct, from BMC Investments in Cherry Creek, Colorado. Dine out to help out Cherry Creek. It's one of those gimmies. It's a no-brainer in my mind. And being a native Cherry Creekian, 48 years I've lived in Cherry Creek, man. Can you believe that? I've watched it all.
That was
change.
before Cherry Creek was really Cherry Creek. It used
man.
to be Spear and First, babe. It used
That's
to.
right. So, Matt, if you'll stand by, we're going to take 2 minutes of a break here real quick, and we'll be back and join Matt Joblon, BMC Investments. Dine out to help out Cherry Creek. Here's a word from our sponsors.
Hey, guys. Chris Johnson here, owner of Rome Sausage, your hyper-local source for all things sausage awesomeness. My family is proud to carry on the fine traditions of Rome's founder, Jerry Rome, by producing a variety of amazing sausage in small batches with an eye on quality, not quantity. Every batch is made here in the great state of Colorado by hand mixing spices, utilizing lean cuts of pork to make an outstanding product. Sourcing ingredients and materials locally, we are committed to supporting local vendors, chefs, restaurants, and the entire Colorado food scene. Getting hungry yet? Brats, Italian, breakfast, hot Polish, green chili, chicken apple, and the world's best chorizo. You can source all of our sausage through a variety of food service distributors. If your distributor doesn't carry it, call us. We'll come direct. You want a custom item? We'll do that too. Samples, and of course, sausage jokes, can be had by contacting me directly at chris@romesausage.com or by phone at 303-296-7663. The modern eater loves Rome sausage, and I know you will too.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Hey guys, with Modern Eater, this is Rich O'Brien with Elevation Food Service Reps. I'm here with one of our sales newly appointed hospitality specialist, Kalina Hilliard, and we're here in our showroom, and we've got our bar set up, we've got a lot of time. Come see us, come see what we've got, and Kalina can help you guys out in the world of hospitality with anything. Take a little journey into the 38th Avenue kitchen just to see what's going on in here, and as I come in here, I'm noticing, Howard, what are you doing? Nothing. Show me, what are you doing? Nothing. Nothing? Look at this beautiful equipment in here. Look at this beautiful... Chefs, restaurateurs, anybody that has anything to do with food service, come on over. We'd love to help you with menu development, love to show you everything about equipment, and maybe we'll even have a few pops.
Okay, back to the show in just a minute, and we'll be joined by Matt Joblon and BMC Investments. Dine out to help out Cherry Creek. Let me tell you about Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions right now, though. Jeff Rourke, he's the man who installs the tap systems of your dreams. He also does maintenance, which proved yesterday when Craig Jones from Carboy and Angelo's and Logan Street and Ivy on 7th gave me a call. Well, he didn't actually call me. I was on the line when one of his employees called and said, the glycol's all messed up on the system. I said, call Jeff Rourke. He called him. This guy got sent out. No problem. All fixed up. That's what you need. You need regular maintenance as well. Give him a call. If you're pouring inefficient beer, what are you doing, boys?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Don't pour your money down the drain. Just get a hold of Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions, 720-272-3809.
And one more time.
720-272-3809, Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions. Okay, very cool. Modern Eater Show continues, SummerDinnerSeries.com. Week 5, Chef Brother Luck cooking this week. Tomorrow night, it's a sold-out crowd at the downtown Pizza Republica.
And people are missing out because it's going to be one of the best.
We'll have 3 more after that. George Eaters, Justin Brunson's, and Troy Guards, okay? There are a couple of tickets left to each one of those, and that's SummerDinnerSeries.com. Let me go to this. BMC Investments and Matt Joblon. I'm looking at the palatial view of Cherry Creek behind you right there, and we welcome you to the Modern Eater Show. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing great. Appreciate you guys having me on and taking an interest in, what we're doing to try and help the community here. I didn't realize that you are a native of Cherry Creek for so many years.
I'm a unicorn, man. But here's the deal, and this is just at first blush. I don't know you from anything, just taking one look at you. I will switch you lives right now. Just right now. I
don't know if you want to deal with what we're dealing with, Don.
Are you sure? I mean,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You got a good view. You're handsome. I bet you drive a better car than me. You're probably stable in your personal life. You got
it's all a big front, man. Hey, man, you never know what's going on behind the curtains, right? The back of house.
I get it. The better you look, the more you think you got, the more you owe, and money, more problems. Hey, listen, but a great thing that you're doing right now in Cherry Creek, man, did this just come out of nowhere, or is this just? I'm going to let you set it up. So it is Joblon, Matt Joblon.
Yeah, Matt Joblon. Yeah. So I moved to Denver about 10 years ago and started BMC Investments. And we do a couple of things, but relative to what we're talking about, we started developing in Cherry Creek. So the first deal we did was Steel Creek, and we brought Matsuhisa here and figured that whole thing out, which was just phenomenal. And they've done really well. And then we built the Halcyon Hotel, and we brought Quality Italian in. We had Departure, which went out when we recapped it, and we just opened up a new restaurant called Local Jones. We did the Moxie Hotel, and then we just did the St. Paul Collection, which are apartments, and we brought in part owners of La Bilboquet, which is another restaurant. And then we're also involved with the Aviano Coffee Shop. So we are pretty entrenched in this community from a retail standpoint, restaurants, and we have a ton of employees that work with us and all that stuff. So pandemic happens, it's devastating. And just, look, the pandemic is horrific all around. But I think there were some hidden gifts there. And one of them was like taking the time to hit the reset button and reflecting and just listening and learning of everything going on. And when I looked at what some of my peers and friends were doing to help their communities in other cities, New York, LA, I'm from Boston. I lived in LA for 7 years before coming here. A lot of our investors, partners in Miami and New York, all in the F&B businesses. So we're very well connected. We saw kind of what was happening. And it was amazing how I saw these communities coming together, raising money to help people less fortunate. So I was like, okay, knowing what we know about Cherry Creek, the dynamics, the people here, how can we do this? So basically, because we're stakeholders in the restaurants, because I think it's a critical part of the vibrancy of Cherry Creek North and the energy here. And so many people have been laid off, so many good people laid off, and they did nothing wrong. And to me, that is just, it was making me sick to think about that. And I was starting to feel helpless. I'm like, this is what we're going to do. And so I called about 20 different stakeholders in Cherry Creek. I'm on the Cherry Creek Area Business Alliance board, the bid board as well. I called them. I said, look, I'm putting this much up. You are too. We're going to raise money. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to create the flywheel effect. We're going to go buy gift cards from all the restaurants. We're going to turn around and give them back to them. So we're going to infuse them with cash. And then all the patrons coming in that pay, they're going to get a little surprise gift card that hopefully will incentivize them to come back and spend more money there and match that or more of the gift card amount, trying to create this momentum of people coming and spending money, all with the goal of getting all of the great employees hired back. Now, that was really it.
It's like a local stimulus package.
Yeah,
right, 100%.
You guys
100%.
are geniuses. I mean, listen, I want to dissect this just a little bit. First of all, bravo to you.
Thanks.
And basically just getting ahead of it, getting in front of it. And the lifeline of our communities, right, our restaurants and the folks that, I mean, listen, service industry, right? Even one after.
No question.
I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry. Even after turbo unemployment and the people that are in their jobs working and could have made more on the bench and they're fighting it out with their owners, it's a difficult time. So much needed. Now let's get into the nuts and bolts of this. Who qualifies? What restaurants qualify? And what are you mentioned Cherry Creek North a few times. So you're not heading into the mall and going to.
So I'm glad you bring this up. So here's what we did. I went to the bid board, Nicola Master, who runs Cherry Creek North bid, and then the president of the Area Business Alliance, David Foster. And by the way, this is all of Cherry Creek, so I shouldn't have said Cherry Creek North. It is the mall, it's Cherry Creek East. Every single restaurant qualified. And I said, guys, we got to figure out a way to equitably allocate these gift cards. And I said, I can't be involved in that because I have ownership in all these restaurants. It's not fair. Leave me out of it. I don't even care. You guys figure it out. Everyone qualified. There was absolutely everyone qualified, but they had to opt into it. And some groups were like, hey, we don't want to deal with this. there was a handful of restaurants that just for whatever reason didn't think it was a good fit for them, or there was an administrative issue, or they just don't believe in giving. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, why some groups said no, but absolutely everyone qualified. I think we got close to 40 restaurants on there, and then some leaders in the community that don't have an economic interest in the restaurants came up with an equitable way with the restaurant association on how to allocate the gift cards, and that's how they did it.
So if anybody wants to opt in at this point, can they? Or is it a set in stone 40?
I think it was set in stone. Now what we're doing is we're definitely going to go out and so this was probably a group of 20 private people that put up the $200,000 that we raised all together. You saw the number of 150,000 that went to the gift cards. We also have 50,000 that we're working with Frontline to give to buy those $6 meals to give to all the restaurant workers in Cherry Creek who have not been hired back, to try and help them. So that was actually another part that didn't get as publicized. So it was a 2 parts kind of mini, called micro stimulus. Yeah. So because we had all that money up front and how we allocated it, that was kind of, hey, this is a one-time deal. We are going to open this up to the public and let people go online and do a $25 donation, $50. People that work in Cherry Creek, people who live in Country Club, Cherry Creek North, Hilltop. So we'll open it up. We'll promote it that way. They can go online and do it. If we get a substantial amount of money, I think we'll open it up back again to see if we can get more people to participate based on the feedback.
So if I'm buying a gift card, is there a ceiling? Because I could spend $500 at Matsuhisa. No, I mean, if I buy 5, can I get 5?
Yeah. So you don't buy the gift card.
You don't.
No, you don't. Okay. So we bought $150,000 gift cards already.
Yeah.
We gave them back to the restaurant.
Yep.
When you go to Bill Bouquet,
yeah,
and you spend more than $25, when you get your bill for $50, with the bill, you get a $25 gift certificate for free.
So it's capped at $25, right? If I'm hearing you right, Matt,
that's right.
No matter what you spend, you get $25.
Yeah, but if you eat 10 meals in a row at 10 restaurants that are doing it, you can get 10 gift cards.
And it actually encourages diversifying.
It's still a great.
Right.
I mean, any way you look at it, I dig into a different angle on this, quite honestly, Matt. Whereas because I'm reading articles today about finally restaurants that deserve to be closed are closed. And do you guys really evaluate that as you're looking through your portfolio and really saying, because like you said, this was our reset earlier in the interview, you were saying that, this COVID wasn't a bad thing in ways because we were able as a group to hit the reset button and really make sure. Do you look at that for profitability too and decide, hey, this is a time we're going to pull a plug on this place?
That's a terrible question.
Well, I mean, but it's real in the business world. I mean, he's looking at numbers on stuff and really saying, sure, am I going to plow back in?
No, it's a great question. Look, I don't want layups here. That's not interesting. So, look, I think that number one is, you definitely have to reevaluate the business and how it's going to look going forward. And everyone is different, okay? So as an example, I mean, Bill Bouquet is on fire right now.
It is.
The specific reason is because we have that massive outdoor patio. Mm-hmm. Massive. And that was just a gift. So, I mean, our numbers are down, I'm just trying to think, probably down 20%, but we're still profitable because we can get so many people outside there. Quality Italian is doing well, but they were doing phenomenal beforehand. When we invested in these restaurants, not just brought them in here into our projects, but also made a capital investment, we've always thought very long term and getting an understanding of Cherry Creek. I mean, Cherry Creek is evolving so fast. There are so many things happening here that we've got a long-term view on these. And so, we got triple P money at all the restaurants, which definitely helped. I can speak to all the restaurants that we, even though we're owners of the restaurants and in the buildings, we have 2 different sets of investors. I'm a fiduciary for both. We gave all the restaurants massive deals on their leases to give them help for sure. We did it for every single retailer. We did it for the restaurants specifically per this conversation. So that helped out as well. So look, I have a lot of belief in all the restaurants. At the end of the day, what I've learned is in restaurants, it's about the people. It's about the team. It's about the leadership. The chef, the GM, and the front of house people and the back of house people, it's about the people. And if you can get them rowing the boat in the same direction, and they are great people at what they do, I think it gives you a much better chance to execute and get through this. Now, here's the good news and bad news. I believe that 30, and this is the bad news. This sucks. I think because of this pandemic and because of I think we're going to go into a pretty bad recession because of all this. I think 20 to 30% of restaurants and retailers are probably going to go out of business and not come back. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's horrible because those are mostly mom and pops, people who have literally given their lives to a restaurant. And it was never about the money for them, but it supported them and kept their lights on in their personal lives. And all the small businesses that supported those small restaurants are probably going to struggle and maybe go out of business. And that's going to create huge unemployment, which obviously employment and unemployment, that's what drives the economy. The restaurants that can thrive, that can survive through this and can continue to build that customer loyalty and have great people, I think can actually thrive at the other end of this. And this is going to create a whole new set of opportunities for restaurateurs, entrepreneurs to figure out what to do with those spaces. So I think there's going to be some short-term pain, but if you're well capitalized and most importantly, you have great teams and a great location, I think you can thrive through this and get to the other end.
Sounds to me like you're willing to carry a lot of that burden, which is, interesting. You talk about the attrition of Main Street and the moms and pops, and even looking at a recession. Do you see it more of a recession as more of that than hyperinflation because of the amount of this fiat currency that was infused into our economy right now, to where we will be paying for a $20 martini while the money's in our pocket to keep businesses alive? But when water finds its own level, just like money, that's really where we're going to find the drop-off?
So I think it's an unbelievable question, and it gets into like monetary policy, and I'm not an economist, but I do have a thought on that I want to share, which you may think I'm insane for saying this, but I think what drives the economy is employment. We're a 70% consumer spending economy. Okay, so when there's high employment, those people are spending money. That's what drives this whole thing, and that's why right before pre-COVID, when we were at 3.5% unemployment, I mean, there was just massive amount of money being spent. The economy was really performing so well, and there wasn't too much leverage in the system. Don't forget, the last recession was debt driven, leverage driven across the board. We don't have that issue right now. I think there's going to be a prolonged period of unemployment for 3 reasons. Okay, number one, for what I just said, 30% of restaurants and retailers going out of business, and all the small businesses that support them go out too. That's massive unemployment. Number 2 is during COVID, a lot of businesses, entrepreneurial and conglomerates, figured out how to get resourceful. They figured out they could do more with less. If you were a 10-person company and you got really nervous or revenue got cut dramatically and you let one person go, you figured out, holy shit, we can we can have the same amount of output with 9 people instead of 10. Our processes are better leadership, better teamwork, communication, whatever it is. Well, that's 10% unemployment right there. Right, so that's going to happen. And then the third thing is, and this kind of ties into your question about, inflation. I think there's going to be massive innovation, technological disruption, and social structural changes that are going to displace a ton of people. Now, I think short term that's going to be tough and some pain for us because that'll lead to unemployment. But long term, I think that'll probably be good overall. So I think that's going to make us have a recession. The bogey here. And what I can't quantify is we don't know what the government's going to do. I mean, if you look back at the stimulus they passed, that stimulus worked. I mean, it did not feel like we were at 14 or 17% unemployment for 3 months. It didn't at all. Savings went through the roof. There was that unemployment, but you didn't have that feeling because there's so much money being pumped in the system. So we don't know what's going to happen, what the government's going to do. And so that's a factor. That then you talk about, okay, well, there's the macro U.S. economy, then there's Denver. Here's what I can tell you. In our St. Paul collection, these really nice apartments we built in Cherry Creek North on St. Paul between 2nd and 3rd. Pre-COVID, if we had 25 tours per week, 10 to 20% were from out of town. Now it's 50%. They're all from New York, LA, Chicago, DC, and I don't know if I said New York, but that's the 5th one. The amount of people that are going to move here is staggering. The big cities in the short term, in the next few years, are going to have massive problems because there's going to be a flight to quality of life and affordability. And Denver will be one of the top 5 cities that benefits from that. And so we're probably not going to be as bad as as a lot of other cities.
Interesting. Boy, that a lot to unpack. I'm really enjoying this conversation.
Yeah.
It's Matt Joblon and BMC Investments. Dine out to help out Cherry Creek. Don't lose sight of that. I'd just Google it and find more information. Is there a better direct URL that we can send people to, Matt? We'll find it and we'll list that link as well.
Thank you.
Listen, as we look at Cherry Creek in particular and the business you're in as landlord, a lot of your properties, the restaurants, are really just the loss leader for you. You kind of have to have them in there, right? What would Still Creek be without a restaurant below it? But let's go right across the street with you. Did they ever put anything in there with Kimball Musk's old spot there? There's nothing in there.
They have not been able to release that for two reasons. One is it's not a great corner because you can't turn in from when you're coming from the west.
Yeah.
You can't turn there. So the access is tough. And there's no parking on site, so the valet has to drive pretty far away, and it's expensive. So they've had a tough time releasing that space.
Well, and are they trying to get money from Kimball for it long term, or are they just trying to keep him in the contract?
My understanding is that he signed a guarantee, and they are continuing to pay rent.
Wow. And, and great thought process there, but renownedly, every time I've seen a restaurant stick in Cherry Creek, it's when the neighborhood accepted it. So, Matsuhisa.
100%.
Yeah, I think Matsuhisa was just organically accepted by the neighborhood, where that one did. If you're going to serve an $18 burger, it better just be off the lights out.
Sure.
Anyway, the attrition happened with that. I got to tell you, so I call it the ghetto of Cherry Creek. I live across the street from Steel Street, which I'm sure you know where I'm talking about. You jacked up my view, man. Thank you for that. No, that's okay. But there were a lot of old timers in Cherry Creek that just, it should be I love what's happened to Cherry Creek.
I think
and the changes that have happened and what you've done into the neighborhoods. I think it's fantastic supporting them in this way, especially with this, neighborhood stimulus package. I hope that other neighborhoods, other local BIDs get together and explore taking this into their own hands themselves, because that's what you basically did when you're seeing the struggle in Cherry Creek. You don't want that attrition down 2nd Avenue. You really don't.
No, for sure. Look, we part of this was the hope that other communities would step up and just follow what we did and come together, because there's just so many great people in Denver, so many great little submarkets like Cherry Creek. So I'm hopeful that, and whether it's the same exact thing or some version of it, but people come together to help the community. I think is really important. One other thing, I'm not sure how much time we have, but you talk about what's happening in Cherry Creek. Are you guys familiar with a concept called Soho House?
Soho House. Yes. You do,
Brian? Yeah, but go explain it.
Yeah, because he doesn't know.
It's a global members club, right? It's all over the world. It's in there's 3 in LA, Miami, a couple in New York, 1 in Chicago, but it's a members club. It's mostly for like creatives, the creative community. So chefs and artists and musicians. Anyways, we are under construction. Remember the old Inn at Cherry Creek where the Weber Grill was on Clayton between 2nd and 3rd?
Yeah.
So if you look at that, we're spending like $55 million redoing that thing right now. It's going to have 7 restaurants and bars. We're going to do an incredible version of like a members club, but Denver's version of it. And again, just you talk about trying to create true diversity, inclusion in a community from the ground up, and really helping Cherry Creek have a lot more art, culture, and soul. That's like the sole focus of what this is. And I think we'll continue just to add on to what you were saying and what you've seen, this evolution of Cherry Creek. And I'm really, really excited about that.
Can I one last? Because I mean, and I hate to pick your brain here, man, but this is a great conversation. What do you, as restaurants and other people, let's just say altogether, bars, restaurants, entertainment, as they go into this next year, next quarter, and some of them are facing re-signing leases or having to work with their landlords. An election year, there's a lot of fright out there right now. And is there any advice that you could give to somebody upon being faced with re-signing a lease or even looking into a lease agreement right now under these circumstances?
You know what's interesting is in March and April, things were very slow for us signing leases. And in May and June, we signed the rest of the retail leases at market or above numbers for the rest of the St. Paul collection, like amazing concepts, no restaurants, but all these different retail concepts. And I said, hey, look, I wouldn't be mad if you told me you didn't want to do this deal right now. But the reality is, if you have massive conviction in yourself, you have massive conviction in your concept, and you have a long-term view of creating, a business, sustainable business, and creating wealth, now may be one of the best times you can actually sign a lease. So I think that in anything you do today, there's so much ambiguity, so much unknown. For you to take a short-term view, 12, 18, 24 months, and try and make a decision based on that, you're just gambling. And so I think you got to have a 10-year view, and I will bet all day long we're going to come back from this. I would never bet against the American people, really. You look at every single massive challenge we've been against up in history, and we've always come out, not without pain, but we've always come out better in the end. And so otherwise you can't really invest in any business if you don't believe that, right?
Yep.
So I think with those things you got to believe in and have that long-term view. In the same vein, I think it would be smart, thoughtful, and to me, business is about managing risk. And so you got to think about all the things that can go wrong, and you got to think about, hey, if this goes wrong, what plan can we have in place to mitigate that risk so that we can get through it again? So I think the combination of those two things, and people can be successful long term.
Yeah, it's a great answer. But in one thing that I say, kind of a daily mantra, is the only thing that's certain right now is uncertainty. And as you put in all of those effects, and especially with just shutdowns in general, and not banking on, let's face it now, PPP's been spent. Yeah. Anything happens unless Congress gets back together and passes another stimulus. If we get shut down, it's on you. It's on you as a restaurant. What I'm hearing from you is actually look a little longer term, because you might get a deal out of where you're at right now. So you're saying bet on your business, bet on what you're doing, look longer term, seal yourself up for the future, and you might come out roses on that with that thought process.
If you believe in yourself and you believe in what you're delivering, is like at the end of the day, it's all about the customers, and there has to be a value proposition, right?
For sure.
And if you can execute that and you believe that, then I just think long term that you're going to do well.
That's right. Yeah. So here's just an aside. Why is there no, and this is kind of an obvious answer right now, but a year ago I thought, what in the hell? Why isn't there a brewery in Cherry Creek?
I'm working on it. Part of the issue is, so we had some space below grade. So if you remember the old Cherry Creek Square, so 3rd in Milwaukee, remember that below grade garden level space?
Yeah.
The reality is when we went and talked to a couple of different breweries, no brewery today can pay the rent at grade in Cherry Creek North for that space to have it justify and make sense. They just can't do it. We tried to get them to come below grade at a fraction of the price. But even then, for breweries to work, it's capital intensive up front. They got to have really attractive and larger spaces. And there's just not a lot of that in Cherry Creek North. And we tried to make it on that garden level, but, brewery didn't want to be buried down there. So besides that space, first of all, there's really no space left in Cherry Creek that's of size. And anything of size is, market rents are in the 50s to 60s triple net. And triple nets are getting up there too, close to 20.
Yeah. Was it hops? What was down there? There was a brewery. It was a chain brewery.
Yeah, it wasn't hops.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Well, it was down in you're talking down in that one corner right on 2nd.
Well, it was where
the pizza joint was.
It was, so it's across the street from where Chipotle is right now. That's where it was. That piece of property right there.
I think you're right. I think it was hops.
I think it was hops too.
Yeah.
And then here's another one for you. Don't you think someone could make a killing owning a liquor store in Cherry Creek?
Well, there's one. There's the Vineyard right there. It's more kind of wine, but yes, absolutely. They would a liquor store destroy it. A brewery would destroy it.
Yeah. Then how about?
Well, but I wonder, would a liquor store though, Greg? It used to be one right there at Village Inn. There was that little liquor store.
Yeah, and I think they made a fortune. The drive-through right next to Cherry Cricket.
Yeah.
I think they made a fortune. And then how about supermarket? For the longest time, that Safeway was there across the street from Still Street, right? Rent's too high? Yeah. Well, but what about that Whole Foods? Are they making a move from that spot across the street?
Well, okay, so first of all, that's like one of the top 5 most profitable Whole Foods in the United States.
It's got to be.
It's 50,000 square foot space, and they do $1,200 per square foot in sales, which if you do the math is some astronomical number. It's crazy. I don't know if you go there, but it's like that parking lot's out of control. It's actually comical.
Yeah. Have you seen that video, shit's getting real in the Whole Foods parking lot? Google that, man.
It's insanity.
You will laugh your ass off.
Yeah. So they're, someone's going to develop the west side of the mall eventually. Taubman owns the mall. Simon was going to buy Taubman, the two big mall operators. That fell apart because of COVID. Maybe something happens there. Whole Foods, they just have such a cheap lease and have so many more years in that lease. I'd be surprised if they move. But
really, I thought they were going across the street because that corner's just
dead.
Bed
Bath and Beyond.
What's going on? What's going there? Anything? You got to be doing.
I think you're going to hear something in the news in the coming months about a massive redevelopment. It's about 14 acres there, and I think they're going to really redevelop it and go all in over there.
Is the mall a loser right now? Because I'm a native Cherry Creek person, man. I haven't been in the mall.
Yeah, well, that was one of the
I
questions
live across
I
the
was
street
ask,
from the mall. I mean,
it's crazy. So do you remember the whole parking debacle there?
Sure, yeah.
So the mall, that's one of the top 10 malls in the country on sales per square foot.
Is it really?
And then when the whole parking thing, it dropped off for 1 or 2 months. And then, everyone complained, everyone went crazy. And then the sales actually were higher pre-COVID than the whole parking thing. So it was doing phenomenal. Obviously, because of COVID, it's been challenging, but they will come out on top because that is the most premier shopping center in all of Colorado.
Agreed. Cherry Creek North does a great job, the BID, putting together the Cherry Creek Food and Wine, right? Yep. I've been a judge at that a couple of times, and they put that.
Well, you've got the Arts Festival, too. There's a few good ones that are.
Big loss that we didn't have that this year. Cherry Creek is just so primed and has a bunch of great signature events. But I'd like for you, Matt, to look into what we do here at the Modern Eater. It's so community-driven, very Colorado. We work with, obviously, chefs, but we go to the purveyors as well. We try and just, bring the whole loop together. I think that we should do something collaborative to really shine a light on the Cherry Creek Collective. And, I think there's a great opportunity, and I don't know how close you are with do they even call that South Cherry Creek? I don't know if they do. Closer to the water, by the mall. I think that's an area that would be a great venue for an outdoor beer festival / food pairing together, or even that street there. But that's what we do. Summer Dinner Series. Check out summerdinnerseries.com. We have 3 of them left. Be our guest. We'd love for you to be our guest at one of these dinners.
I'm in, man. That'd be awesome.
And I think it's right up your alley. Talking about your St. Paul Collective, I think there's a very prominent Denver restaurateur that lives in there. Am I barking up the wrong tree? I think Juan Padro lives.
No, you're not barking up the wrong tree, but yes, an amazing Denver restaurateur.
No, you're talking Soho, not St. Paul. So the Soho Collective.
I don't know where he lives. I think he's right there.
No, I think you're talking about his Soho Collective.
Don't say his name, but St. Paul.
St. Paul.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Anyway, what's it going to take to get him to do a restaurant down there?
We're doing a bar together now. We're under construction.
Okay.
And we'll be announcing something, I think, in 30 days. So we're working on a bunch of stuff together.
In Cherry Creek?
Yes. You'll probably see 4 venues from him in Cherry Creek.
How exciting.
Together with me.
Dude, you're awesome. I knew. You're a cool guy, and I could tell right off the bat.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor. I'm here, guys. It's great to meet you. I look forward to building a relationship and staying connected, and hopefully talk to you guys soon.
If you're ever in the ghetto of Cherry Creek, I'll meet you over by the Kavad, and we'll hang out and we'll commiserate for a little bit.
Done. I'll see you there.
All right, dude. Thanks, man. That's Matt Joblon,
See ya.
BMC Investments.
Thanks,
cool guy, man. And I like it. I like it a lot. Look at this. Our next guest now, I'm going to ask her to just hang on. She's been so patient. And Cerberus Brewing Company, she'll be with us tomorrow night. Carrie Simison is going to join us. Let's break. We'll come right back. Do about 2 minutes of ads from our sponsors. Please take a look at that. Also, Dine Out to help out Cherry Creek. What a great little local stimulus package that they put together.
Yeah.
Spend $25, they'll match it up to $25.
Yep. But it's still, anyways, it's a great.
I wonder if you could do that at Grind Kitchen and Watering Hole.
You wonder if they'd put out the list of the restaurants that you
wonder, can you utilize drinks as well? Can you just go
There's
drink?
lots of questions we didn't ask.
Can you just drink $25 worth of Cerberus Brewing Company beer and then get 25 more on their dime? I don't know. So many questions, but we'll come back with Carrie. That'll be next on the Modern Eater Show.
Hi, guys. It's Rebecca Berry with Hot Schedules powered by Ford. With all of the recent COVID rules and regulations, you may feel like you have way too many cooks in the kitchen. Well, fortunately, Ford is the leading hospitality provider and partner when it comes to onboarding HR, payroll, tax, and compliance needs. So that way you can keep all of those cooks in the kitchen and let us manage all of your administrative needs. That way you can focus back on your business and your growth plans. Give me a call for an analysis on how we can put that ROI back into your business and take those administrative burdens off your hands, because nobody likes handling taxes. That's Rebecca.berry@forth.com, Rebecca.berry@forth.com. And hey, you know what's cool, guys? Keeping your mask on so that way we can keep our doors open.
Hey, Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with the Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hey there, Barbecue All-Star. This is your year, so what if you weren't drafted? The only draft you need to be worried about is actually spelled D-R-A-U-G-H-T, and it's adult for the word beer. It's barbecue season, baby. Now get out there and grill your ass off.
Yeah, there we go. It's their summer dinner series. I'm a farmer. What's up, everybody? This is Kaibab Savage, co-founder of Savage Spectrum Winery, home of Sparklet, Palisade's newest premier sparkling wine producer, coming to you live from our vineyard. You can see this beautiful vineyard behind us. We're so happy to pair up with the Modern Eaters for the Summer Dinner Series. Check them out online, summerdinnerseries.com, to get your tickets. You could come hang out with us. You can try our latest releases of our Sparklets. It's the perfect aperitif to pair with these amazing creations the chefs are going to bring you. Can't wait to see you guys, hang out with you guys, tell you about our story, get to know you better. Hope to see you there.
Man, that was.
I just had to get hyped up. I just had to get, feeling good.
Back to the show in just a second, but before we do that, I want to talk to you about Aspen Baking Company. AspenBaking.com is where you go to find delicious and locally baked bread, whether you're into focaccias, hoagies, batards, sourdough. I had a sourdough bowl that you put clam chowder in. It is absolutely delicious. AspenBaking.com, hashtag How's Your Aspen. If you love box lunches, you want to get some box lunches for your employees, or just for a group of people, have a little socially distanced get-together, AspenBaking.com. They're using delicious Rome sausage in there also. Order direct, order online, do Amazon Fresh, do whatever you want to do, but do it now and do it at AspenBaking.com.
Now I want a bread bowl. Don't you?
Do you ever have those
rich,
broccoli cheddar bread bowls when you were young?
Yeah,
man, gosh, that's right.
Anything in a bread bowl, right?
Yeah. Well, French onion. French onion,
absolutely.
Broccoli cheddar with a little bacon on top.
Yeah. Cerberus Brewing Company. Carrie's here with us. Hi, Carrie. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Oh, we're good, too. I like your background there.
Yeah, I'm hanging out in the brewery. Sent the brewers home because they were here bright and early, but it's one of the quieter places in the restaurant right now.
Was it production day today?
They were brewing this morning, yep.
Nice.
Not sure what they were making, but we've got 3 beers tapping Friday, so they've been hard at work.
I understand you're joining us for dinner tomorrow evening.
Yeah, we're coming up with Brother Luck and Axe and Oak Distillery, so we're pretty excited to be representing the Springs up there and to the Denver crowd and show you what we got.
I love it. It's a sold-out dinner. So you're going to be in for a treat when you see a summer dinner series. And you're bringing beer with you. What beers are you bringing? Do you know?
I sure do. We're bringing up our Elysium Hazy IPA, which is our flagship. If anyone has heard of us around the state, it's probably because of the Elysium. It's super tropical, really grapefruit forward. Our whole staff calls it Big Kid Orange Juice. So when you pour a glass of it next to a glass of OJ, you'd be hard-pressed to tell which one was which. And then we are bringing up a hop Belgian pale ale called Little River, which was actually brewed by our assistant brewer in honor of his newborn, Ash. So we're bringing that up, and we're really known for our hops down here, so we decided to showcase those.
Nice.
That's going to be 2 delicious
and
beers.
well, and you guys do so many. I'm sure it was hard for you to choose which ones because I mean, you all are doing lagers, porters, sours, IPAs, Belgians, stouts, sodas. They're doing a cream soda, watermelon limeade.
Yeah, we've got cream soda. We've got a watermelon limeade. Right now, we're doing a big series of kettle sours, and they always go in the slush machine on Fridays. We have a Bronze World Beer Cup winning Kolsch, so it was pretty hard to decide what to bring.
Yeah, tell us about the brewery. It's in Colorado Springs, and folks that get down to Colorado Springs, give them an idea of where you're located, and then let us know about the brewery.
Absolutely. So we are on the west side of Colorado Springs at Colorado Avenue and 7th Street. We're tucked just on the edge of Old Colorado City, which is known to be kind of a little shopping district. We've been here, September will actually be 4 years, so celebrating 4 years in the neighborhood. We have an expansion project underway. About 1.5 years ago, we bought the bike shop across the street from us, and we've been running it as a bike shop currently, but eventually the brew house itself will move over there. Canning line will be added. We'll add a little tasting room, tap room over there, and then the existing Cerberus will continue to run as a full bar and restaurant. So you can find us 7 days a week. We open at 11 a.m. and we have a little shortened hours at the end of the night these days because of COVID, but we're always here till 8 and expand till 9 on the weekends.
Oh, perfect. Can't wait to taste the beers tomorrow. And, again, a wide variety of beers. And I'd encourage you.
Well, I'll tell you, is it bad of me to ask, is there any way you could bring, is that watermelon limeade? That looks, I'm like.
Oh, you want a little treat for yourself?
Oh,
yeah,
I'm thinking the little watermelon limeade, and I would sneak around the corner maybe and put a little Colorado vodka in there. But.
Little vodka in there. I'd be lying to you if I said it hadn't happened before. If it's still on tap tomorrow, I'll bring you a crawler.
Oh, that's nice
you rock, you rock.
Who are you bringing with you?
So I'm actually bringing a local journalism professor with me. She has had articles in our weekly newspaper, The Independent, which is much like Denver's Westward, and teaches journalism and has a Bloody Mary Instagram page. And so I figured it'd be fun to bring her up to get some Colorado Springs followers to see what we're doing up there tomorrow. Her name is Lori Urich.
Lori, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I did talk to our sous chef here. So chef is gone for the day, but we do have a full kitchen here at Cerberus as well. And there's a couple things we're known for. So if we end up with time, I'd love to show you some of the stuff we do food wise here as well as beer.
How could I say no? Please.
Awesome. I'm going to wander through the hallway. So be patient with me while I get to the prep room.
So let me ask, who's into the Greek mythology, the name? Who came up with that?
So we have 4 owners. Josh is one of the owners, and he's the Greek mythology and the dog tie into the current location as well.
Okay.
Did you get all that?
We missed it. Unfortunately, as you were walking, your phone was
every bit of that
bouncing.
we missed. So,
but it sounds like a cool story.
Yeah, it ended right when you were just beginning. So give it to us one more time.
Oh, bummer. Awesome. Well, I want to introduce you to our sous chef, Danny Anderson.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Danny Anderson.
Danny Anderson. I'm the sous chef here.
And he put together a couple of the things that we're most well known for here. Last December, we celebrated our 50,000th brisket grilled cheese, which is our most popular menu item here. And so Danny put that together. Let's see. This is kind of awkward on a phone. I apologize. I'll get you a food shot.
You're fine. Oh, yeah. Yes, please.
Brisket grilled cheese.
You didn't know we have smell-o-vision
Danny,
here.
Tell us what's on that.
So on our brisket grilled cheese sandwich, we do a nice Gruyere cheese spread with a couple different cheeses, some mayonnaise, sour cream, lots of mustard in it, herbs, all that nice stuff. And we smoke our brisket and then braise it overnight to finish it off. We'll shred it or reheat it on the line. And then when we go to top it, we'll put shishito peppers, crispy fried onions, and arugula to finish off the sandwich.
As we were looking at the beef shortage earlier this year, we were pretty worried about having to pull it off the menu, and we knew we'd have a full revolt.
I'm glad you didn't. Does that travel well to Denver, I guess, is the next question. You guys, that's fantastic. Hey, Chef, thank you for showing us that, Chef. That looks fantastic. And that's just another reason to go.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow night, Carrie.
Awesome. We will see you. Thanks for having us up, and look forward to meeting you guys in person.
Yeah, Cerberus.
It's going to be a great night.
Brewing Company, Colorado Springs,
Take
Colorado.
care.
Yeah, with Axe in the Oak.
Yes.
2 Colorado Springs companies along with Brother Luck.
Yeah, and they're both sort of down in that Colorado City area.
I encourage you guys, if you haven't watched a Summer Dinner Series dinner streamed, tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's the night.
Yeah.
And you can watch that right there. I'd always say, as we're positioning ourselves to get some new things going on, a lot of our audience right now, today, with some things we're trying to work our way through. But tomorrow night, I'm hoping we're going to be locked and loaded and have Brothers audience and everybody. So we got a lot of work to do. We're going to shut down now, regroup. We got to deconstruct a lot of equipment. It's going to be an interesting day tomorrow, but a good one. But we got to get ready for Brother Luck.
Yeah, and listen. And one thing I would say is, if any of our listeners or viewers are around the Colorado Springs area, visit these people that we are showing you great businesses that are down in that Colorado Springs area, from Lucky Dumpling to Beast and Brews to Four by Brother to Cerberus to Axe in the Oak. These are people that need your support going through these times right now, and so I would encourage you, if you're in these areas, go and see the people. Yeah. If you're in the Cherry Creek area, we're trying to support the food and beverage industry as much as we can.
Peek over the shoulder. What's Jay concentrating on so much right now?
He's intent. He's looking at something.
I know. What are you doing, Jay?
Jay, what are you doing?
I'm getting ready to play some commercials as we get out of here, and making sure this thing doesn't, this iPad doesn't update itself while we're live.
Good show. Tomorrow, again, 7 p.m. is our go time. And we're going to stream Chef Brother Luck, 5 courses of magic from downtown Pizza Republica. It's tough down there. It's not great cell service.
No, you mean for our show. It's really great for people dining. I mean, because it's beautiful, incredible views, nice cool breeze. It's wide open space. That's really nice. But if you're trying to produce a show live and put out a signal to the World Wide Web.
You know what's going to be a sleeper dinner?
What's that?
George Eaters. It's going to be a sleeper.
Well, you know what's weird, though, is all of the people in the know are reaching out saying, I want to go to George's dinner.
Yeah, and it is interesting. And then if you're really in the no-no, right? If you're in the no-no, you would know that having Ska Brewing Company and Peach Street Distilling, they do their own dinner and sell out. Ska Brewing Company coming up from Durango, the owner, Dave Thibodeau.
And then Peach Street,
and
one of my favorite, the Goat Vodka. I mean, we're just talking vodka.
Good time. SummerDinnerSeries.com. Keep an eye on it. Okay, we're going to sign off now, be back tomorrow, and then Wednesday, guess where we'll be?
Wednesday, we're going to go down south. I heard a rumor that we will be somewhere in the vicinity of C470 and Santa Fe. It's just a rumor.
No, it's not. It's confirmed. We'll be at Carboy on Wednesday. Isn't it, Jay?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's confirmed?
Angelo's,
Carboy.
Yeah, south.
It's in the Breckenridge town.
Littleton
area.
Yeah. I mean, it's confirmed barring any kind of craziness between now and then.
When I actually gave a physical location, you both looked at me with blank stares. I love that.
Thank you, James Bedwell and Joe Dan from your mom's house. Hope those guys get it together and survive, make it through. There's a big need for that. Just like us, the underbelly and food, I guarantee it, they're real close to probably being the underbelly of local
the music scene.
Entertainment.
Yeah, big time.
Right down there, Capitol Hill. And Matt Joblon, BMC Investments, Dine Out to help out Cherry Creek. Kind of wordy, but a good cause, right? Dine Out to help out Cherry Creek. Yeah, maybe it's got a ring to it.
Dine Out to help out, babe.
I'm going to dig in and just Google it, Dine Out to help out Cherry Creek. and Cerberus Brewing Company. Thank you, Carrie Simison, Simison. Simison. Thank you for that. Okay, for Jay Parker, Brian Freeman, alongside of these guys, I'm Greg Hollenbach. We'll be back here tomorrow. What time?
We're not actually doing a show
7
tomorrow
p.m.
because
tomorrow.
we do the dinner.
The Modern Eater show continues.
Hi, I'm Charlie Gottenkenny, brewmaster at Brews Beers. Our all-new Abbey 4-pack contains the main products of Abbey and Trappist breweries in Belgium. So with the 4-pack, you'll get a single, a double, a triple, and a quadruple, one of each. Most monastery breweries will make 2 to 4 of these. Some of them make all 4. And American craft breweries, like Brews, that specialize in Belgian beers, will make multiple versions of the Big 4 throughout the year. So where can you get an Abbey 4-pack? Well, you can get it at either Brews location, 67th and Pecos in Midtown, or in the East Colfax neighborhood at Colfax and York. You can also find them at fine liquor stores throughout the Denver area. So get yours today and take home some Belgian-style badassery.
Hey guys, it's Brian Rizzuto with Encore Energy, the guy who saves your businesses money on natural gas. I know these are crazy, crazy times right now, so while your business is working on increasing your sales, let me work on saving you guys money on your natural gas. I'll make it as easy as possible. Just provide 12 months worth of natural gas bills to me. I'll do the rest. I know you're really busy, so let me get to work for you. You can reach me at 720-245-5771. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and let me try to save you some money in these crazy times. Bye.
We started Meridian Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together, to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coop Vodka and Coop Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridianspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coop by Meridian, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey, Dave Thibodeau here. Hey, friends of the Modern Eater. This is Dave Thibodeau from Ska Brewing and Peach Street Distillers. I wanted to let you know that our new brew distillery is up and running again in Boulder. And we've got a great selection of Ska beers, nearly 30 on tap. We've also got all of our Peach Street spirits available, a great mixology program that we brought down from the Western Slope and Palisade. We're open limited hours, Wednesday through Friday from 3 to 10. And then we open up earlier at 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday and get some brunch action rolling. We have 2 great patios. Socially distant seating is available. And you can always check for more information at skastreet.com, and hope we become your new favorite neighborhood spot. And I'd like to meet you there in the not too distant future for a beer or a drink soon. So take care, be healthy, and stay strong. And I'll talk to you later.
Hi guys, it's Cody Ann from Aspen Baking Company. We specialize in fresh, preservative-free, amazing bread. But with all the food news, go right here to the Modern Eater.